Good morning. My name is Melanie, and I'm the person behind Divine Crystal Heart. This morning, I just wanted to do a quick video about the current energies going on. I know from myself and a lot of people that have been coming to me, things feel a little bit intense, even though there's a lot of good stuff going on. But I'm not an astrologer, even though I do follow astrology. So I suggest you find someone online, find someone on YouTube, social media that you resonate with, that can tell you a little bit more about what's going on with the planets. But from what I do know, there is a lot of things being brought up right now for clearing. There's a lot of karma being cleared, a lot of our fears being pushed up, things that have been holding us back being pushed up. And that can be uncomfortable. For myself, a lot of that is going on right now in the heart chakra area, and something that I've been working on for years, in my healing that I've been doing for myself. And it's taken me quite a lot of time to realize that a lot of that agitated energy, when I feel uncomfortable, is just my body trying to clear a lot of that out. And I myself actually someone that really loved the idea of love and spreading light and think of myself as being a very loving person. But it took some time to realize how much being vulnerable and being real in those situations is very uncomfortable for me. And my body naturally wants to respond to the fear of that. And that feels like anxiety for me. A lot of times it feels very ungrounded. I feel very foggy in the head and things feel chaotic. And in the past, my reaction to that, not knowing what was going on, came out in emotional outburst, verbal outburst towards people, often me saying nasty things. I've noticed now, even though I've worked through a lot of that, I find myself going back into my ego and my ego responding in things. So I just basically kind of wanted to do this video just to let you know that you're not alone, and that it can be uncomfortable. But I think the more uncomfortable it is, the heavier the stuff is being pushed out and the better for you it is. So I just want to ask you to stick through it and then give you some tools to kind of help you feel a little bit more empowered in those situations and have a little bit more control over what's going on. I definitely believe in allowing yourself to be shown and seeing what you need to be or shown in those situations. Something that I've been personally applying is asking God and Spirit to allow me to see this situation differently. How can I respond differently? And really, like say, like in the last couple weeks, how can I respond from a place of love, and asking myself where inside me is running and trying to respond with fear instead of with love. So one of the big things is staying grounded, and that's something that I have been struggling with. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Something that I've been struggling with myself. So for those of you that are familiar with grounding, you might learn something new. Those of you that are not familiar with it, there are multiple techniques, but I'll just give you some basic ones you can use during the day for clearing and staying grounded. So most of us take showers in the morning or sometime in your day, but when you're taking a shower, really visualize just the energy and things built up on you. And as I'm washing myself, I imagine I'm really pushing that back down into the drain. It's leaving my body. It's going back into the earth. I apologize if you hear the dogs barking. So that's a way to just clear energy after the day, or when you wake up in the morning, if you're feeling kind of off. That's just a simple, basic thing you can do. Even, if you're at work or something, a situation, you can go to the restroom. You can use the cold water and wash your hand with cold water. And again, just really visualize with the intention of just pushing all of that out of your body into the drain. And you can do it that way. Now, as far as grounding goes, one of my favorite things is actually putting my bare feet in the dirt, or I love the beach. That's my favorite place to go to. But I imagine kind of just like digging my feet into the ground, connecting with Gaia. If you think of the earth, we've got the dirt, the soil, but really just visualize going into the core of the earth. And that can be, you can use a string, a cord, a bungee, whatever visualization comes to you when you're envisioning that. For me, I do this weird thing where it's like a fuel pump. I imagine a fuel pump in my kind of tailbone, my root chakra, and that goes into the earth and connects to the earth. And then I take some deep breaths in, and as I'm breathing out, I imagine I'm just pushing all of that heavy energy, any emotions, anything I feel like I've built up. And I do this all the way down from the upper body, my legs, down to my feet, and give it back to Gaia. And then I envision as I'm breathing in, I'm taking all that grounding energy from Gaia, the light, taking that in and just feeling my body back up with it. Now you can do this the opposite way if you want to bring more light in, but right now we're focusing on grounding. So again, you're taking in that grounding energy from Gaia and giving any anxiety, worry, fears, any of that back in. And then once you feel like you're feeling a little bit lighter, looser, you're done with that, just envision unclipping whatever cord you used and letting that go. So those are some little simple things you can do. Sometimes I'll even just sit by trees and visualize just breathing it to the tree and taking in the tree's healing energy, touching rocks. I've got a hematite crystal right now I use for grounding too. And I've got a black tourmaline in my pocket that I use for protection. So those are just some tips to stay grounded. And as far as protecting your energy goes, what I notice the difference if I don't do this in the morning or I'm rushing through it versus taking that 5 minutes to just do this for myself. But breath is extremely important, and a lot of times we don't do that. If you pay attention to yourself just the next couple of days, when you're feeling tense, you'll notice you stop breathing, and then all of a sudden your body, your shoulders, everything starts to tighten up. It's very important for us to remember to breathe and take real deep breaths in. So, through your nose, down through your chest, feel your belly expand, and then breathe it back up and out. So I start off with a few of those. And then what I do is I visualize a white bubble of light around me. And I often ask Archangel Michael to help me with this. And he is blue light. So if you see blue light, that's fine. You can put white light, whatever light you resonate with. But the idea is you're tapping into your energy field that's around you, your energetic body. And you're visualizing putting this energetic barrier up around you. And then I seal the bubble basically. And for myself, I visualize actually energy spinning around me. So it's kind of like a thick bubble of energy that doesn't allow people to get into my energy field, because what will happen is throughout our day, we'll get little holes in our auric field, and that allows for negativity to come in. That allows for energetic vampires to come and mess with you. So by putting this energetic bubble up around you, you kind of feel more grounded in your own space. Something neat I learned this weekend too in my Reiki course, I really like the teacher shared, that's been helpful for me, is bringing your energy back. I'm someone that lives up here. I'm not a very grounded person. I often have to get myself grounded multiple times throughout the day. So if you're someone like me, this feels very empowering in catching yourself in those moments of anxiety, or if you feel in a crowded area overwhelmed by the energies, just envision, instead of your energy being all out here, just bring it back, make your circle tighter around you. And again, you can call on Archangel Michael to help make your energetic bubble, around you, make it stronger. Visualize the blue light around you, visualize the white light around you. All these things can be helpful. Another thing that I like to do, and again, back to the heart chakra area, is I will actually put my hands over my heart, and as I'm taking the deep breaths, I will visualize the white light, coming in through my heart chakra, and then pushing that white light out. And so I do that, and I start with my room that I'm in, and I fill that up, and then I go into my house, and I fill that up. Then I'll go into the houses around me in my neighborhood. I visualize my city. I live in California, so then I go into the state of California, and then I visualize pushing it out into the United States, and then I visualize pushing that out into the world. And as I'm doing that, I feel more light coming into me. I feel more love coming into me, and then I feel like I'm radiating that back out healthier versus feeling very chaotic energy. So again, just be easy on yourself right now. Compassionate. That's been the biggest thing for me, I think, the last probably couple months now, is by looking at myself in a more compassionate way and loving way, and forgiving myself for things I thought that I did wrong or mistakes that I made, and seeing that those mistakes are actually helping and leading me to where I am, has helped me to also show that same kind of compassion and love for other people. Because I think maybe like October, November, everything I was noticing was all the negativity in the world, the sadness, the, addictions, people's struggles. And I myself was struggling with how am I supposed to keep putting light and love when that's all I keep seeing. But I realized that's also all I was willing to see in that moment. And once I kind of expanded my view, then I started to feel the love again, and ultimately felt more love and compassion for myself than I have in a long, long time. So again, just encourage you to be compassionate towards yourself and loving in other people. And the answer to any situation, your response, your reaction is always love. And sometimes we are not at a place to give that to someone, and that is okay to not be there. But again, making the statements of asking, let me see this through the eyes of love. Let me see this more lovingly. And maybe, again, just for yourself for that moment, and trying to seek forgiveness. But a lot of these energies right now are giving us an opportunity to, and asking us to let go of things we've been holding on to that hold us back, whether that be relationships with our families, with romantic partners, friends, coworkers, in our work situations. Basically, the time has come now where we have to make the decision to do something different and use all the tools and things that we have been taught and learn, and do something different with it, and stop seeing ourselves as victims in situations, because we're not. Ultimately, we are the only ones holding ourselves back. And a lot of times that's due to us living in fear of what could happen, fear of what could go wrong. And a big one for a lot of us is fear of what could go right. Some of us aren't prepared for change and how to handle greatness, and that's something that we're overcoming. So I just want to ask you to, again, just to remember that there is a lot of intense energy going on right now. You're not the only one experiencing it. The people that are showing up and interacting with us are also experiencing it. And a lot of people don't understand that and are still responding and reacting based off of programming and old beliefs. So it is our job to be light in those moments and love in those moments, and to walk through it, even if you don't understand it in that moment. Just be willing to see it differently, and to respond differently. That is so huge. And sometimes it might come in 5 minutes, it might come 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks, but I promise you that opportunities will show up to have you kind of shift through that and walk into something different. It's going to feel a lot better than walking in fear. I myself still have things I'm overcoming, but just being able to remind myself of that is making it a lot more comfortable to walk through it. So I hope some of those things help. Please feel free to reach out, comment if you have any other questions. I do intend to try to do some more videos. I want to tap into and talk more about the relationships and how some of us are responding to relationships right now. And I would like to also get a little bit deeper into some of the protection techniques and grounding. But I just wanted to give that quick little message and some little tips, and send love and light, and just to hang in there. And again, if there's an opportunity to be love in a moment, or to mirror love to someone in light, take advantage of it. It'll make you feel better, make them feel better, and ultimately is putting better out into the world. So hope you all have a blessed day. Hang in there. Love and light.